15. Worst Junkies in Country History. Welcome to Uncovered Tinseltown Uncovered. Did you know some of country music's biggest legends lived lives filled with drugs, alcohol, and scandal? From the rebellious Johnny Paycheck to the heart-wrenching downfall of Keith Whitley, these artists' struggles with addiction were as notorious as their music. Despite their talents, their personal battles nearly destroyed them. But what really happened behind the scenes? How did addiction shape their careers, and what did they leave behind? Stay tuned as we dive deep into these shocking stories and explore how fame and addiction collided in the lives of country music's brightest stars. Don't forget to comment below. Randy Travis. Randy Travis was once the shining star of 1980s and 1990s country music, known for his rich baritone voice and emotionally charged songs like Forever and Ever Amen and Deeper Than the Holler. His breakthrough album in 1986, Storms of Life, set the stage for his career, and his success was marked by numerous chart-topping hits, Grammy Awards, and other accolades. However, despite his professional success, Travis's personal life was troubled by substance abuse issues, particularly alcohol. As his fame grew, so did the pressures that came with it. In 2012, his battle with alcoholism reached a dramatic point when he was arrested for driving under the influence in Texas. In a shocking incident, he was found intoxicated lying naked on the street, which made headlines across the country. This event severely tarnished his previously clean image and marked a turning point in his career. Travis's addiction issues were compounded by a personal crisis, the breakdown of his marriage to longtime manager Elizabeth Hatcher. His divorce in 2010 sent him into a downward spiral, and he sought solace in alcohol. In 2013, Travis suffered a stroke that left him unable to speak for a significant period. The stroke, which almost claimed his life, was a pivotal moment in his story. Although he faced immense struggles, Travis displayed remarkable resilience, continuing to perform after his stroke, despite never fully regaining his ability to speak. His comeback was seen as inspirational by his fans, but his story remains a stark reminder of the high personal costs that often come with fame and addiction. Travis Tritt. Travis Tritt was one of the leading figures of 1990s country music, known for his rebellious spirit, energetic performances, and hits like Here's a Quarter Call, Someone Who Cares, and Trouble. His blend of traditional country with southern rock made him stand out during the country music boom of the 1990s. With multiple chart-topping songs and a Grammy Award, Tritt was seen as one of the genre's most promising stars. However, Tritt's personal life was not as smooth as his rise to fame. Like many country artists, he was surrounded by the pressures of the music industry, including grueling touring schedules and public expectations. In his pursuit of coping with the pressures of stardom, Tritt became entangled in a battle with alcohol and substance abuse. During his 1990s rise, he indulged in a partying lifestyle that involved heavy drinking and occasional drug use. While he never publicly reached the same explosive moments as other country stars, his addiction took a toll on his career. As his drinking escalated, Tritt's performances began to suffer, and there were reports of him showing up on stage visibly under the influence. Though his issues were never as public as some of his peers, those close to him noticed the toll it took on his personal relationships and professional opportunities. Tritt was able to eventually confront his struggles with alcohol, making a conscious decision to clean up and turn his life around. His commitment to sobriety helped him rebuild his career in the later years of his life. Despite these personal battles, Tritt's legacy as one of the definitive country music stars of the 1990s remains intact. Tammy Wynette. Tammy Wynette, often hailed as the First Lady of country music, became an iconic figure in the genre with her heart-wrenching vocals and emotional storytelling. Born on May 5, 1942 in Mississippi, Wynette's musical career took off in the late 1960s with her groundbreaking hit, Stand By Your Man, which became one of country music's most beloved anthems. Her heartfelt songs, which often dealt with themes of love, heartbreak, and resilience, resonated with millions, earning her several Grammy Awards, CMA Awards, and a place in the Country Music Hall of Fame. However, beneath the surface of her professional success, Wynette's personal life was marked by deep struggles. While many fans were captivated by her public persona, Tammy's life off stage was anything but idyllic. One of the most tragic chapters of her life was her battle with prescription drug addiction, which began in the 1970s. Her dependency on painkillers started out of medical necessity after she underwent numerous surgeries due to persistent pain from a variety of health issues, including a hysterectomy and other complications. What began as a means of managing pain gradually turned into a dangerous addiction. Despite her reliance on medication, Wynette continued to tour, recording chart-topping hits like DIVORCE and Till I Can Make It on My Own. Her health, however, began to deteriorate due to the long-term effects of the drugs. Friends and family members expressed concern as her physical condition worsened. Her performances were affected, and in public appearances, she appeared frail, showing the toll the addiction had taken on her body. She also faced personal turmoil, including several failed marriages, most notably her tumultuous relationship with country singer George Jones, who also struggled with alcoholism. Wynette passed away on April 6, 1998 from a blood clot in her lung, but the toll of her years of drug use likely contributed to her untimely death at the age of 55. Despite her struggles, her music continues to influence generations, and her legacy as a powerful voice in country music endures. Hank Williams Jr. Hank Williams Jr., the son of legendary country singer Hank Williams Sr., was destined for a career in music. However, his journey was fraught with personal struggles, many of which were rooted in the weight of living up to his father's iconic legacy. Born on May 26, 1949, Hank Williams Jr. rose to fame in the 1970s with his own brand of country music that blended honky-tonk rock and Southern influences. Known for hits like Family Tradition and A Country Boy Can Survive, Williams Jr. became a prominent figure in the outlaw country movement, known for his rebellious attitude and rejection of the Nashville establishment. Despite his professional success, Williams Jr. faced immense personal challenges, many of which were tied to substance abuse. His battle with alcohol and drugs began early in his career and worsened after a life-altering accident in 1975. While hiking on Ajax Peak in Montana, Williams Jr. fell 500 feet, suffering severe injuries to his face and head. The recovery process was long and painful, and Williams turned to painkillers to manage the physical pain, which only led to further substance abuse issues. His addiction to alcohol and other drugs intensified as he tried to cope with the pressure of living up to his father's towering legacy. In addition to his substance struggles, Hank Williams Jr.'s personal life was marked by turbulence. He faced multiple divorces and challenges in his relationships with his erratic behavior, often attributed to his addiction. Despite these difficulties, Williams Jr. managed to revive his career, continuing to release albums and perform despite the growing toll of addiction on his body and mind. Williams Jr. was able to confront his demons over time, eventually overcoming his substance abuse and continuing to perform well into his later years. His perseverance and resilience in the face of personal battles made him a beloved figure in country music, and his influence on the genre remains significant. However, his journey serves as a reminder of the dangers of addiction, even for those blessed with immense talent and success. Glen Campbell. Glen Campbell was a multifaceted talent, an accomplished singer-songwriter and guitarist who left an indelible mark on country and pop music. Born on April 22, 1936 in Arkansas, Campbell's smooth, rich voice and virtuosic guitar skills earned him a place in both country and pop music circles. His career took off in the 1960s, and his hits like Rhinestone Cowboy, Wichita Lineman, and Gentle on My Mind catapulted him to international fame. Over his career, Campbell amassed numerous Grammy Awards, including a Lifetime Achievement Award, and sold millions of records. However, Campbell's personal life was marked by struggles with substance abuse. At the peak of his fame in the 1970s, the pressures of constant touring and performing began to take a toll on him. Campbell turned to alcohol and illegal drugs to cope with the stress, which led to erratic behavior and a decline in his professional performance. His addiction issues became public in the 1980s when he faced legal problems, including arrests for DUI. His personal turmoil affected both his career and relationships. Despite his struggles, Campbell was able to continue his work in music, though the years of substance abuse left their mark on his performances. In the 2000s, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, and in 2011 he embarked on a farewell tour, a poignant and heartbreaking end to his career. His condition was made public, and he became a symbol of resilience, continuing to perform even after his diagnosis. Glen Campbell's music continues to resonate, and his legacy is celebrated for both his extraordinary musical contributions and his personal struggles with addiction. He passed away on August 8, 2017, after battling Alzheimer's disease. His life is a testament to both the heights of artistic achievement and the depths of personal turmoil. Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson is a legendary figure in country music, known for his distinctive voice, songwriting ability, and advocacy for marijuana legalization. Born on April 29, 1933 in Abbott, Texas, Nelson became one of the most influential musicians of his generation. His career took off in the 1970s with the release of Red-Headed Stranger and the classic song Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, which became staples in country music. Known for his laid-back outlaw image, Nelson's blend of country jazz and blues made him an icon, and his career has spanned over 6 decades. However, Nelson's relationship with substances has been one of the most well-known aspects of his public persona. While he is best known for his advocacy for cannabis use, Nelson's involvement with marijuana was just one part of a broader history with substance abuse. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, he faced numerous legal issues related to marijuana, including a 1990 arrest for possession of over a pound of marijuana in North Carolina. The charges brought significant media attention to Nelson, and while his stance on cannabis made him a folk hero, it also brought him into conflict with the law. In addition to marijuana, Nelson has also battled with alcohol at various points in his life. Despite the legal troubles, Nelson's image as a rebel in country music only strengthened, and his struggles with substances did not stop him from achieving musical greatness. In fact, Nelson's substance use became part of his outlaw mystique, further endearing him to fans who admired his free-spirited lifestyle. In the 1990s, Nelson faced financial problems as a result of mismanagement and unpaid taxes, owing the IRS over $16 million. However, true to his resilient spirit, he fought back by releasing an album specifically to raise funds to pay off his debts. His determination to overcome adversity, along with his continued success as a performer and advocate, solidified Willie Nelson as a living legend. Today, he remains an enduring figure in American music and culture, remembered not only for his musical contributions, but for his activism and his complex relationship with substances. Billy Joe Shaver. Billy Joe Shaver. One of the most influential figures in outlaw country music, was born on August 16, 1939 in Corsicana, Texas. Shaver's music was raw, honest, and unapologetic, reflecting his tumultuous life. His gritty lyrics and outlaw persona made him a staple in the country music scene. He's perhaps best known for his songwriting with hits like "I'm Just an Old Chunk of Coal" and "You Asked Me To." But he was also a dynamic performer whose deep, gravelly voice added layers of emotion to his storytelling. However, Shaver's success in music was overshadowed by personal demons. Throughout his life, he struggled with substance abuse, particularly alcohol, which began in his youth and became more prominent as his music career flourished. The outlaw country movement, with its emphasis on rebellion and defiance, suited Shaver's image, but his addiction affected both his personal and professional life. In the 1970s, as Shaver gained recognition, his alcohol abuse spiraled, affecting his performances and relationships. In 2007, Shaver's personal struggles reached a tragic apex when he was involved in a shooting incident outside a bar in Texas. He shot a man in the face, claiming it was self-defense after a confrontation. The incident was widely reported, adding to Shaver's already controversial reputation. Despite these troubles, Shaver continued to make music using his experiences to fuel his songwriting and performances. Billy Joe Shaver's life was defined by hardship, addiction, and legal battles, but he remained one of country's most respected songwriters. He was a central figure in the outlaw country movement and left an indelible mark on the genre. He passed away on October 28, 2020, but his music lives on as a testament to his resilience and his ability to express life's raw truths. Merle Haggard. Merle Haggard, a towering figure in country music, was born on April 6, 1937 in Bakersfield, California. Haggard's life was one of transformation, marked by struggles with addiction, criminal activity, and the harsh realities of growing up during the Great Depression. Haggard's early years were tumultuous. He frequently clashed with authority and found himself in trouble with the law. His journey from juvenile delinquent to country legend was spurred by his time in San Quentin State Prison, where he witnessed a Johnny Cash performance that inspired him to turn his life around. In the early 1960s, after his release from prison, Haggard began pursuing music seriously, quickly becoming one of the leading voices of the Bakersfield sound, a country subgenre that blended honky-tonk, rockabilly, and western swing. His songs such as Okie from Muskogee and Mama Tried resonated with audiences, capturing the struggles of everyday life with raw authenticity. His music became a voice for the working class, and his success brought him numerous awards, including Grammy Awards and CMA recognition. However, Haggard's success came with its own set of personal challenges. Throughout his rise to fame, Haggard battled alcohol and drug addiction, particularly during the height of his career in the 1970s. His dependence on alcohol and other substances took a toll on both his personal relationships and professional life, often leading to erratic behavior. However, Haggard was known for his resilience, and he eventually overcame his addiction in the late 1970s, using his struggles as inspiration for his music. In the later years of his life, Haggard's health began to decline due to his past lifestyle. He was diagnosed with lung cancer in 2015 and passed away on April 6, 2016 at the age of 79. Despite his battles with addiction, Haggard's influence on country music is undeniable, and his ability to craft songs that spoke to the heart of American life ensures his place as one of the genre's most enduring legends. George Jones. George Jones, often regarded as one of the greatest voices in country music, was born on September 12, 1931, in Saratoga, Texas. Known for his unparalleled vocal range and ability to convey the deepest emotions through his music, Jones became a fixture in the country music world. His hits like He Stopped Loving Her Today, The Grand Tour, and She Thinks I Still Care are considered masterpieces, with He Stopped Loving Her Today often cited as one of the greatest country songs of all time. However, Jones's brilliance as a singer was often overshadowed by his turbulent personal life. His struggles with alcohol and drug addiction became infamous in the country music community. His dependency on alcohol was well documented, leading to erratic behavior, missed performances, and the now legendary No-Show Jones nickname. Jones's unpredictable attendance at concerts due to his drinking problems frustrated fans and colleagues alike, but his raw talent kept him in the spotlight. The impact of his addiction wasn't limited to his career. It also wreaked havoc on his personal life. Jones went through multiple marriages, most notably with fellow country singer Tammy Wynette, which was marred by their respective battles with substance abuse. Despite these struggles, Jones continued to perform and record, delivering a remarkable comeback in the 1980s. His rehabilitation and return to sobriety marked the beginning of a second act in his career, and he enjoyed continued success into the 1990s. Jones passed away on April 26, 2013 at the age of 81, leaving behind a legacy of profound influence on country music. His life was one of both triumph and tragedy, and his story is a testament to the power of resilience. Known for his incredible voice and unmatched delivery, George Jones remains a cornerstone of country music, his legacy forever cemented as one of the genre's greatest legends. Steve Earle. Steve Earle, born on January 17, 1955 in Fort Monroe, Virginia, became one of the most influential songwriters and performers in the Americana and country music scenes. With his blend of country rock and folk, Earle became a powerful voice in music known for his gritty storytelling and raw emotion. His 1986 album, Guitar Town, marked his arrival as a force in country music, earning critical acclaim and making him a standout figure in the genre. Hits like Copperhead Road and The Devil's Right Hand established Earle as an icon, revered for his authentic songwriting that often dealt with themes of rebellion, hardship, and the struggles of everyday life. However, Earle's rise to fame was accompanied by personal demons. His battle with heroin addiction in the 1990s threatened to derail his career. As his career began to gain momentum, Earle's struggles with drugs became more apparent. His addiction led to run-ins with the law, and in 1994 he was arrested for possession of drugs, serving time in prison. During his time in jail, Earle took a step back and reflected on his life, realizing the damage his addiction had caused not only to his career, but to his relationships and health. After his release from prison, Earle turned his life around. He sought help for his addiction and found sobriety, which became a key turning point in his career and personal life. His comeback was marked by a return to his music with renewed energy and purpose, evident in his post-recovery albums, such as I Feel Alright and Transcendental Blues. Earle's later work began to reflect his personal growth and maturity, with his songwriting becoming more introspective and reflective. Steve Earle continues to be an important voice in country folk and Americana music. His story of redemption, overcoming addiction, and his unflinching honesty in his music has made him an enduring figure not just for his musical talent, but for his resilience and commitment to personal growth. David Allan Coe. David Allan Coe is one of the most infamous and influential figures in outlaw country music. Born on September 6, 1939 in Akron, Ohio, Coe's life and career have been as turbulent as the music he created. Known for his rebellious attitude and defiance of Nashville's mainstream country, Coe carved out a legacy that has been both admired and controversial. His career began in the late 1960s when he started writing songs for other artists, including Johnny Paycheck's hit Take This Job and Shove It. Coe's own recordings, such as You Never Even Called Me By My Name and The Ride, made him a staple of the outlaw country movement. His blend of gritty storytelling, raw emotion, and unapologetic lyrics struck a chord with fans who were tired of the polished, commercialized country music dominating the airwaves. However, his personal life was marred by struggles with addiction, particularly alcohol, which took a toll on his career and relationships. Coe's battles with substances, particularly alcohol, were well documented. His wild lifestyle, which was consistent with the outlaw country image, often led to erratic behavior on stage and in his personal life. He became known for his unpredictability and the controversy surrounding his lyrics, some of which were deemed offensive or inappropriate for mainstream audiences. His rebellious nature led to frequent conflicts with record labels, fans, and the press. Despite this, Coe maintained a loyal fan base drawn to his unflinching honesty and unapologetic approach to both his music and his life. Though his addiction struggles and controversial lyrics often overshadowed his talent, Coe remains a beloved figure within the outlaw country community. His personal demons never fully took him out of the game, and his influence on country music, especially the outlaw subgenre, cannot be denied. David Allan Coe's legacy is one of both defiance and resilience, standing as a symbol of the raw, untamed spirit of country music. Waylon Jennings. Waylon Jennings was one of the most influential figures in country music, known for helping to pioneer the outlaw country movement, which rejected the commercialized, polished sound of Nashville in favor of a more raw, rebellious approach. Born on June 15, 1937 in Littlefield, Texas, Jennings was a talented singer-songwriter and guitarist whose unique blend of rock country and folk set him apart from his peers. He first gained recognition as a backup musician for Buddy Holly. and was on the plane that tragically crashed in 1959, marking the beginning of his career in the music industry. In the 1970s, Jennings joined the likes of Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, and Chris Christopherson to form the Outlaws movement, a collective of musicians that fought against the polished, commercialized sound of country music. With albums like Honky Tonk Heroes and Wanted the Outlaws, Jennings helped create a sound that would go on to define country music for years to come. Songs like Good-Hearted Woman, Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, and Luckenbach, Texas, became anthems of the outlaw country genre, showcasing Jennings's raw, honest approach to songwriting and his ability to blend elements of rock and country. However, Jennings's career was not without its struggles. His life was marked by addiction, particularly alcohol and substance abuse, which became a defining feature of his personal life. Jennings turned to drugs and alcohol to cope with the pressures of fame, and his addiction led to several years of erratic behavior both on and off stage. This period of his life was turbulent, affecting his health, his relationships, and his career. However, like many of his contemporaries, Jennings eventually overcame his addiction, seeking sobriety in the 1980s. Despite his personal struggles, Waylon Jennings remained one of country music's most influential figures. His role in shaping the outlaw country movement cemented his legacy as one of the genre's true legends. He continued to perform and record until his death on February 13, 2002, leaving behind a catalog of music that continues to inspire generations of artists. Keith Whitley. Keith Whitley, one of the most gifted and promising voices in country music, was born on July 1, 1955 in Ashland, Kentucky. Known for his smooth, emotive voice and songs like Don't Close Your Eyes and When You Say Nothing at All, Whitley quickly became a rising star in the country music scene during the 1980s. His career was on a meteoric rise, marked by chart-topping hits and critical acclaim. Whitley's ability to convey deep emotion in his songs earned him a special place in the hearts of country fans, and his music touched on themes of love loss and heartache. However, his promising career was tragically cut short by his battle with alcohol addiction. Whitley's struggles with alcohol were well known in the industry, and they became more apparent as his career progressed. Despite his immense talent and early success, his drinking problems began to interfere with his performances, and friends and family grew increasingly concerned about his behavior. Whitley's erratic behavior and health deterioration were widely noted during the later years of his life. His dependency on alcohol ultimately led to his untimely death on May 9, 1989, at the age of just 34. He was found unconscious at his home, and the official cause of death was alcohol poisoning. Whitley's death shocked the country music world, as many believed that his career was only beginning to truly blossom. His tragic passing left fans wondering what could have been if he had been able to overcome his addiction. However, his influence on country music remains profound, and his songs continue to be celebrated today. Whitley's legacy endures through his powerful voice, heartfelt lyrics, and the tragic reminder of the dangers of addiction, serving as both a cautionary tale and a source of inspiration for future generations of artists. Hank Williams Sr. Hank Williams Sr. is widely regarded as one of the most influential figures in the history of country music. Born on September 17, 1923 in Mount Olive, Alabama, Williams's life and career were marked by both genius and tragedy. He is often credited with shaping the sound of modern country music, blending elements of honky-tonk blues and gospel into a unique style that has influenced countless artists. His songs like Your Cheatin' Heart, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, and Cold, Cold Heart are timeless classics that continue to resonate with audiences today. However, Williams's career was overshadowed by his struggles with addiction. From an early age, Williams faced personal challenges, including the loss of his father and financial struggles. These hardships, along with his rise to fame, led Williams to turn to alcohol and morphine as a means of coping with his physical pain and emotional distress. His dependence on alcohol became well known, and his chaotic behavior on stage and in his personal life made him a controversial figure in the country music world. Williams's addiction led to frequent absences from performances and erratic behavior, which caused tension between him and his managers. His reputation as a bad boy of country music grew, and he was ultimately banned from performing in some venues due to his behavior. His addiction to alcohol and morphine ultimately contributed to his early death at the age of 29. On January 1, 1953, Williams was found dead in the back seat of his car en route to a performance. The cause of death was officially listed as heart failure, likely a result of his long-standing struggles with addiction. Hank Williams Sr.'s untimely death marked the loss of one of the most brilliant voices in country music. Despite his short life, his influence on the genre remains immeasurable. He is considered a founding father of country music, and his songs continue to inspire musicians and fans alike. His legacy is both one of musical brilliance and a tragic reminder of the destructive power of addiction. Johnny Paycheck. Johnny Paycheck, born Donald Eugene Lytle on May 31, 1938 in Greenfield, Ohio, became one of the most iconic figures in outlaw country music. Known for his rough-and-tumble persona and his anthem, "Take This Job and Shove It," Paycheck became a voice for the working class, reflecting their struggles and frustrations with authority. His gritty voice and rebellious spirit made him a standout in the country music world, especially in the 1970s, when the outlaw country movement was in full swing. Paycheck's career had its highs and lows, but his legacy is forever tied to his rebellious nature and his defiant music. His signature hit, "Take This Job and Shove It," resonated with millions of blue-collar workers who found solace in the anthem of rebellion against oppressive employers. Despite his success, Paycheck's personal life was marred by struggles with addiction, particularly alcohol and illegal substances. His battles with substance abuse were widely known and contributed to his reputation as a hard-living country artist. In the 1980s, Paycheck's personal demons became impossible to ignore. His addiction issues affected both his career and his relationships, leading to missed performances, erratic behavior, and legal troubles. In 1985, Paycheck was involved in a confrontation at a bar in Hillsboro, Ohio, during which he shot a man in the face. The incident resulted in Paycheck being arrested and sent to prison, where he served time for the shooting. Paycheck maintained that he acted in self-defense, but the incident further solidified his outlaw reputation. After serving his time, Paycheck attempted to make a comeback, but his career never fully recovered. The damage to his personal life, including his addiction issues and legal troubles, had lasting effects on his ability to regain his former success. Despite this, Johnny Paycheck's music, particularly his defiant anthems and his unflinching portrayal of life's struggles, remains a significant part of country music history. He passed away on February 19, 2003, leaving behind a legacy as one of the genre's most controversial yet influential figures. In conclusion, the stories of these country music legends serve as a poignant reminder of the fine line between fame and self-destruction. Their struggles with addiction shaped their music, but also led to personal and professional turmoil. While some, like Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard, managed to overcome their battles and leave behind a lasting legacy, others, such as Keith Whitley and Johnny Paycheck, saw their careers and lives cut tragically short. What do you think? Can the high pressures of fame justify their struggles, or do they ultimately reflect a deeper issue within the industry? Let us know in the comments below.